Good morning, Unity Sacramento. Let's stand if you are able to, and we are going to sing our congregational song.
Good morning, Unity of Sacramento. Can you hear me this morning? You can hear me well? Like in the microphones, hear me well? We welcome you to the Sunday worship celebration at Unity of Sacramento. We are indeed a positive path for spiritual living, and we're so grateful that you have chosen to join us on this Taste of Tanzania Sunday. Come on, let's celebrate! Look at somebody nearby and say, something wonderful is happening here. Go ahead, tell somebody nearby, something wonderful is happening here. And tell them, and you're a part of it. Tell them, you're a part of it. Every Sunday we begin our service by affirming our vision, and I want you to join us in this vision. You're not only joining us by speaking it audibly, but you're speaking it energetically this morning as we cast this around the world. Let's say it together. Come on. Centered in God, we co-create a world of peace, prosperity, and unconditional love for all. Who? For? That's what we're about here. And also, we have a powerful mission. This is how we carry out our work in the world. We recognize that it starts with me. Point to yourself and say, it starts with me. Come on, say, it starts with me. So we can't have that vision turn out if something is not happening with ourselves, yes? So let's affirm our mission statement together. Come on. We empower people to be a force for good in the world by awakening their divine nature. And so as we awaken to our divine nature, then we're a force for good in the world, and then we create a world that works for all. Does that work for you? So we like to just do this by making sure that our lights are on. Did you come in here with lights on? Tell somebody nearby, lights on. Somebody's home. Tell them your lights on. Somebody's home. So if your lights are on and somebody's home, just shine with us just a little bit. One more time. 1, 2, 1. This little light of mine.
This little light of
I'm
mine.
gonna let it shine.
I'm gonna let it
This
shine.
little light of
This little
mine.
light of
I'm
mine.
gonna let it shine.
I'm gonna let it
Everywhere I
shine.
go,
This little light of
I'm
mine.
gonna let it
I'm
shine.
gonna let it
This
shine.
little light of
This
mine.
little light of
I'm
mine.
gonna let it
I'm
shine.
gonna let
And
it
this
shine.
little light of
This
mine.
little light of
I'm
mine.
gonna let it
I'm
shine.
gonna let it
This
shine.
little light of
This
mine.
little light of
I'm
mine.
gonna let it shine.
I'm gonna let it
Everywhere I
shine.
go,
This little light of
I'm
mine.
gonna let it
I'm
shine.
gonna let it
This
shine.
little light of mine.
This little light of
I'm
mine.
gonna let it. I'm gonna let it.
shine.
Give yourselves a great big hand. You may be seated. We're grateful and thankful for your presence here today. And we especially want to take a moment in this service to acknowledge those of you who were born in a month that starts with the letter A. That's not April, though. But if you're born in the month of August, will you rise up and let us celebrate you this morning? We're going to sing happy birthday. Come on, guys. August birthday. 1, 2.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya.
Hey.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya.
So, like, you're representing all of August today? Who else? Who else? Where is she?
Over at the camera.
Where? Oh, Angelina. Give Angelina some love. So the 2 August birthdays in the house. Zoe, hey. Who else? Who else? Are we missing any more August birthdays? Big hand for all of our August birthdays. Happy birthday, love. Mwah. Many, many more. We're going to be celebrating our First Lady after the service in her arrival at 21 and a half. She pushed up by 1/2. Let's prepare ourselves now for a time of meditation. If you'll let the people in, come in quickly as we prepare ourselves for time of prayer, meditation, just anchoring ourselves in the sacred silence. And we're always praying.
As we are always praying.
Our thoughts are prayers. Join us. The words are on the screen. Be careful what you're saying.
Be careful what you're
Seek a higher consciousness,
Seek a higher consciousness.
a state of peacefulness,
A state of peacefulness.
and know
that God is always there.
as every thought becomes a prayer,
As every thought becomes a prayer.
that was a good warm-up. Let's try it together as a spiritual community of love. Come on.
Our thoughts are prayers.
And we're always praying.
And we are always praying.
Our thoughts are prayers.
Our thoughts are prayers.
Be careful what you're saying.
Be careful what you're
Seek
saying.
a higher consciousness.
Seek a higher consciousness.
state of peacefulness.
A state of peacefulness.
And know that God is always there. As every thought becomes a prayer. I'm going to ask the choir to remain up here with me, and we're going to establish the prayer field in a very powerful way this morning. You know, part of what draws us here is that we believe that there is power in a collective consciousness. And what we mean by a collective consciousness is that idea that where two or three come together, agreeing, holding a powerful agreement on a thing, that there's a mighty vortex that's open, there's a mighty power that flows through. We call that presence the source, the force, the God of our understanding. Synergizes with us to accomplish that and more that we surround our faith upon. And so this morning, we invite you, those of you in our live stream community and those of you in this place and space today, to bring to mind those in your life or circumstances in our world that you would like to be entered into this prayer field. Just see a field of unconditional love all around you. See it emanating from within you and filling this room. There is not enough hate that love can't cure. There's not enough sickness that love can't cure. There's not enough pain and poverty and lack and limitation of any kind that enough love cannot cure. And so fill this room with your love. Just send it all around. If you need to place your hand over your heart in order to connect to that love energy that you are, tap into it right now. And then see yourself releasing it all around this room. And then out into the world where our loved ones are. Those that are in hospitals and institutions, those that have sent forth prayer requests to this spiritual community. And then in the room, in a moment as we pray, I just want you to speak the names of your beloveds that you want in this prayer field. Those at home, type in the chat room the names of those beloveds that you're entering into this healing vibration. We bring into this prayer field this morning our beloveds in Tanzania, in Kenya, in East Africa. We were alerted that they are now experiencing severe drought. And we're seeing right now that the love of God is washing over, nourishing and nurturing their souls, their lands, their crops, their cattle. In the most miraculous way, we let the love of God wash over Tanzania and East Africa. Speak the names of your beloveds and those of your concern now into this field. And we see and know and declare that the presence, the power, the very love of God is in full operation right now on behalf of all those who we care about, and including ourselves. Thank you, God, that you always hear and you're always responsive, now and always. And so with great confidence and ease, I release this word, I release this love field into the law, knowing that it cannot and will not return unto us void, but will accomplish that which we please and is filled full of divine providence. I place these, your children, lovingly in your care and keeping. Amen and amen. Those of you who may have more specific prayer requests that you want to just leave in the intensity of this space, on your tables there should be prayer request slips. I think they're called letters to God. You may use those and leave those with an usher before you depart us today. And we will hold your prayer concerns with us. Let's take a moment to go into what we call our breathing space. Breathing space is a guide that we use. It is a 52-week meditation journey for centered, soulful, and successful living. It's co-authored by yours truly and Reverend Donaldson. And each week we use it as our guide to get us grounded into a time of meditation. This morning, the word for today is legacy. I have a big smile on my face because it's been amazing to see how the lessons have lined up with where we have moved in our community at any given time. And it's also the name of one of Reverend Charles's great plays that was centered on the history of African people in the United States. And I'm carrying with me Reverend Charles's ordination staff. So his energy is with us today in this service. I know he would have loved this. The word for today is legacy. The declaration says, I give a hand up with what I choose to pass down. I give a hand up with what I choose to pass down. Let's say that together. Come on. I give a hand up with what I choose to pass down. And the quote says, legacy is not leaving something for people. It's leaving something in people. Here's the reading. How we live our lives today can determine how life is lived tomorrow. As we live with intention, we can create the legacy we wish to leave others. How can I be remembered? It can be through a family business I leave, property I bequeath, material and capital gains I will. It can also be through ideals and stories I share, or values and ways of being I embody. To be remembered for our kindness, compassion, and other uplifting and inspiring attributes is a worthy purpose to pursue. Individually or collectively, we add to whatever we choose to leave as a legacy with every choice and decision we make today. Given thoughtfulness and prayer, we all can create legacies that benefit others for generations to come. Let's just take this thought into a time of meditation and contemplation in the silence. If you would, just place your feet flat on the floor. Comfortable doing so, tilt your chin slightly upward and your palms open as if to receive and also to send. And now we'll take a deep cleansing breath together, in through your nose, out through your mouth, together. And let it go. One more time, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And let's just drop to the center of our souls, right there, just at the solar plexus. And we ask deeply into the question, what is my legacy? How can I be a beneficial presence on the planet? Say it with me. What is my legacy? How can I be a beneficial presence on the planet? Let's take a deep breath and just sink into the opening of that question, and let the Spirit reveal to you your own in the silence. We remain open and receptive. And we listen deeply into the whispering of that still small voice within us, leading us, guiding us, directing us into our individual legacy. We let it be. We call it good. And so it is. Amen. Amin. Ashe. Aho. Hotep. Shalom. Om Shanti. Assalamu alaikum. Namaste. Peace. Come back in. And just hold the center of this powerful infusion we're having here. Something wonderful is happening with you. Point to yourself and say, something wonderful is happening with me. You may open the doors and let people in. Something wonderful is happening with me. And we want to allow that something wonderful that's happening with you to have its way, just an amazing way. If you're with us for the first time, we welcome you. In fact, let's all just embrace ourselves and repeat after me and as a welcome to our guests. All of me is welcome here, just as I am. All of me is welcome here. Somebody speak to someone nearby you and say to them, all of you is welcome here, just as you are. All of you. Even that part is welcome here. Let's give a great big hand for our great welcome. If you're with us and you have joined us, this is your first time, it's been a long time, on your table in the caddy there is a brochure that says Unity of Sacramento International Spiritual Center. It's a checklist and it has some questions on it. We want you to take that with you and check us out. See if some of the ways in which we experience and express ourselves at Unity aligns with where you are. And if you're looking to identify with the spiritual community, we welcome you. We welcome you. It'll give you all that information. Speaking of welcoming, you're here with us on our amazing Tanzania Celebration Sunday. Another big hand for that. You'll find out in a little bit why we're celebrating. Some of your members from Unity of Sacramento went to Tanzania and Zanzibar to make an impact on ourselves, but also an impact in the world. And we're bringing back some of the gems with you today to share with you what we experienced. I'm going to ask our travelers to come up here with us, including Dr. Danielle. We're going to sing a song for you, and we're going to teach you that song. Come on up, our Tanzania travelers. Come on, join us on stage here. Come on, come on, come on. You can bring the little ones up. Oh, look at this. Dr. Danielle, David Molell. Come on up, guys. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. All of our travelers, come on up this way. Come on up. Give them some love and appreciation. Yeah. just file in your honorary choir members now. Just stand somewhere near and with the choir. Come on up, come on up, come on up. Don't they look lovely? Come on, give them some love and appreciation. And we've got David Molell, who is our leader. Xavier Eichencoder is with us on the drums this morning. And we're going to teach you the welcome song that we learned and were greeted with like everywhere we went throughout Tanzania. And then we want you in a minute, we're not going to tell you stand up yet. After we get it one time through, we'll have you stand up and join us. The words are on the screen, and if you have a hard time getting the words, just get the rhythm. Can you do that? If you have a hard time getting the rhythm, get the spirit. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and
Jambo, jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni wakaribishwa Tanzania yetu, kuna matata. Jambo, jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni wakaribishwa Tanzania yetu,
hakuna matata.
ukienda Arusha,
Hakuna matata.
ukienda Ngorongoro,
Hakuna matata.
ukienda Serengeti,
Hakuna matata.
nako Zanzibari.
Hakuna matata.
Jambo,
Jambo.
jambo bwana, habari
Everybody
gani?
standing.
Nzuri sana.
Standing.
Wageni wakaribishwa Tanzania yetu,
Hakuna matata.
jambo, jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni wakaribishwa Tanzania yetu,
Hakuna matata.
ukienda nako Zanzibar,
Hakuna matata.
ukienda Unity Sacramento,
Hakuna matata.
ukienda nako Zanzibar,
Hakuna matata.
ukienda Kilimanjaro.
Hakuna matata.
Jambo,
Jambo bwana.
bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni wakaribishwa Tanzania yetu, hakuna matata. Jambo, jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni wakaribishwa Tanzania yetu,
Hakuna matata. All right. All right. Stay right here. Stay right here. Stay right here. Stay right here. We're not letting you get off that easy. All right. Where's Dr. Danielle? Where is she? Give Dr. Danielle some love and appreciation. Look at this beautiful family. Where's Malika? Hey, come on, Malika. Let them see you a little bit with your beautiful self. Look at them. This is our Tanzanian family from Unity of Sacramento. Hey, baby, how are you? Mwah. All right, so what I would like for you to do right quick, Dr. Danielle, is tell them what these words mean, okay? Tell them what the words mean, and then what I'm going to ask is that you just rock out with us for a second. I'm gonna have Xavier and the band do it instrumentally, and we just rock out just so you can get the spirit of what we were infused with. What do these words mean?
These words are happy words. These are jambo, which means hello.
Can you hear?
Hello. Can you hear me? Jambo, hello. Habari gani? How are you? Mzuri sana. Oh, jambo, jambo, bwana. Hello, hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. Habari gani? How are you? Nzuri sana. Very good. Wageni, guests to our country. Mwakaribishwa, you're most welcome here. Tanzania yetu, our Tanzania, Hakuna Matata. Everybody knows what that means, right? No worries. No worries.
No worries. So for a few minutes, we're going to have no worries. And just so if you don't have it in you in terms of the words yet, because it took us a while to get it ourselves, or the rhythm, just get the spirit of it,
Yes.
whichever one works for you.
Yes.
All right, ready, Will? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Jambo, jambo bwana, habari gani?
Come on, Unity!
Nzuri sana.
Celebrate, celebrate!
Wageni,
Wakaribishwa Tanzania yetu, hakuna matata. Jambo, jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni, mwakaribishwa Tanzania yetu, hakuna matata. Ukienda jambo, jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni, mwakaribishwa Tanzania yetu, hakuna matata. Jambo, jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni, mwakaribishwa Tanzania yetu, hakuna matata. Hakuna matata. Ukienda Ngaramtoni, hakuna matata. Ukienda Kilimanjaro, hakuna matata. Ukienda na Zanzibari, hakuna matata. Ukija Unity Sacramento, hakuna matata. Jambo, jambo bwana,
Habari gani?
nzuri sana. Wageni, mwakaribishwa Tanzania yetu, hakuna matata. Jambo,
Last time!
jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni, mwakaribishwa Tanzania yetu, hakuna matata. Jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni, mwakaribishwa Tanzania yetu, hakuna matata.
Jambo bwana.
Come on, guys! Come on!
Wakaribishwa Tanzania yetu, hakuna matata.
Come on, Dave, give us up. Come on, catch the spirit! Yeah, yeah! All right, guys! Come on, Dave! Come on, bust it out. Let him get a little solo. Come on up a little bit. Bust it out. Give me some. Hey, 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 hey! on, just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. A little bit more. Come on. Hey, hey, hey. Come on, church. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Woo! Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Oh, the spirit of Tanzania is here! What? Woo! All right, Unity. Let me have this. I'll give this to you later. Now, we're gonna, whew. Now, see, one of the things about our journey, when I tell you everywhere we went, we were met with this beautiful greeting, spirit of welcoming, singing and dancing and jumping everywhere we went. So it wasn't a thing you could say, well, let's just, they've been at this 5 minutes now. No, it's none of that. It overtakes you. And you catch the spirit of that, and something is left with you. So we are happy to share with you a little bit of our journey here. We were fortunate enough to produce a documentary, and we're showing you a short version of that here today. We want you to see for yourself. Who wants to see? And travelers, who wants to see yourselves in the camera? We are going to show you the documentary that we recorded here in Tanzania with the hopes that you catch even more of the spirit of our commitment to living fully our mission and vision in the world of being a force for good in the world. That it's beyond this campus, it's in the world. And it was so alive, and so we want you to get a little bit of what we experienced. Are we ready back there? Not yet. Okay. Then while I'm melting here, can somebody bring me some tissue? Thank you, honey. Let's just have the whole box up here. For good measure. We might break out and dance again before it's over. We're ready? All right. Enjoy this documentary covering our experience in
Several years ago, David and Danielle, the founders of Adumu Safaris, had a vision. And it came through a lesson series that we teach at Unity of Sacramento International Spiritual Center, where I'm their spiritual leader and pastor. And we teach a series of lessons called the Dream Series.
By the way, you can call me Jabiri or Lotri. Can you say that? Jabiri. Or to make it easier, just call me JB. I think most yeah.
Oh,
just
you
call me
like
Jabiri.
that.
I see.
And the Dream Series provides methods, techniques, and principles for discovering, developing, and demonstrating the dream in your heart. They had a dream for what would be possible to contribute to this great motherland.
I'm so excited. I just can't hide it.
I'd always wanted to go to Africa, and I'd been saving, but I didn't really think that that would happen. It was just a wish. So I'd always kind of put a little money aside, and then when the opportunity came, I said to my husband, "Oh, I would like to go," and he said, "You have that money?" And I'm like, "Really? Like I could spend it? I should do, this is it?"
And then we looked at each other again and said, if not now, it's never going to happen. So let's just add to the craziness. Let's do it.
Dear visitors, welcome to the coffee farm, or I may call this coffee classroom.
Learning the history and learning the African history of coffee, it made me even more excited.
And what we are going to do is to peel the shells.
Plus it makes kind of a sound to it too.
Preparing the coffee bean and crushing it down to a fine powder. It reminded me of what my ancestors in the United States did as they worked in the fields. They would sing as they worked. So when I witnessed that, I felt the connection. Like, this is where we got it from.
What was beautiful about that, about seeing the traditional way of grinding the coffee, is that as somebody who has studied West African drumming, I know that, you can see the djembe has the same shape of the mortar that they pound grain and coffee in. And my drum master, Mamadi Keita, taught us that that's where the original rhythms came from. Women will be pounding the coffee and singing songs, and so that was a first-hand experience of something that I'd learned from my drum master.
Tool that they used to pound was heavier than what I thought, and it takes a lot of energy. And so when I started that pounding approach, I said, oh, this is a hard job. You've really got to, be dedicated to make sure that you're pounding those little beans all the way until they come almost into a powder.
I'm going to appreciate a cup of coffee a lot more now.
I love coffee. See the process. It was fascinating to me.
Thank you.
Wow.
By Isaiah and Malika. So this is coffee by Malika and Isaiah. Now, if our Unity babies can plant coffee here, you can do something green and conserve it where you are. We've been waiting for a couple years to meet you, and thank you for this beautiful tour today.
Driving to the Maasai Lodge, I was thinking, where are we going? There's nothing out here. There are no road signs, and the road was so bumpy, and I thought, we're just driving to nothing. And then we turned the corner, and all the Maasai were singing so loud for us. And all of a sudden, I wasn't tired anymore. I was excited. And we got off the bus, and they were singing for us, surrounding us, hugging us, telling us to dance with them.
It was just art, and it was almost unbelievable.
Everybody was dancing, and I wanted to just look, but oh no, you don't look with Maasai. You pull in, and you're doing this.
Hello. How are you? Good. What's your Maasai?
The camp to Tanzania was about the Maasai culture, so I personally really enjoyed being there at the lodge and hearing from the people there, just because you can read about something in a book, but seeing it in person and hearing from people directly is what really impacted me.
Everyone was so friendly, and I didn't feel like they were just doing this just because I was visiting. It made me feel like they are that way all the time.
Blown away by the hospitality, the love, the warmth, and the beauty of the land, the beauty of the people. Learning about the Maasai warrior, how important it was for them to know how to defend the community. I loved it. That was a beautiful education. And it was, for me, really the first time learning about the Maasai warrior and his role in community. I grazed the lion. I didn't kill him, but I did maim him a little bit.
Again, to hear their songs and then to actually drum with them, you know, and for them to sing their song and to try and match the rhythm that they were going and add drumming to it, and it just took off, and everybody dancing, singing, and drumming together. It was wonderful.
It seemed like it would never end, and we didn't want it to end.
Water project, just to see the efforts that are being made to bring the clean water there. After you have seen the amount of time that the people spend going to get the water's on donkeys, the water's being carried by the women, moved me to say, got to do whatever I can do with the group to make sure that we get that water project, because it's taking not only the health concerns away, but it's also giving back time to the community, that they don't have to spend so much time going to get water, and everything is circled around you getting fresh drinking water.
I am pledging $1,000 to the water project, because I was very moved by that, and because it helps more than just one community, it helps so many. So I told Rev Kev I make a commitment to pledge $1,000 for that. And because of this company that cares so much about everyone, not selfish, it's just giving, and sharing, and living harmoniously.
Traveling with Adumu, it wasn't just taking a trip or taking a vacation. It was just so much more, like not only us give back, but to meet and see others who are here who are doing more for their community.
Through all the activities we've done here, I've seen that Adumu is really living out its mission and vision, and is really prompting me to be a little bit more intentional about who I travel with moving forward, and thinking about how I can move that into my lens of travel as opposed to just it being happenstance through a particular company that I picked.
These kinds of experiences take you out of, you can't believe it's happening. But it is happening, and it speaks to the generosity of the people here.
Quiero yenda. Brought some stationaries from America, and I don't think we have enough time to go and distribute one after another. I think we're just gonna give it to the head teacher, and then he can do that.
Education equals strength and power. You guys learn, learn, learn. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
You see your first zebra and you're all, oh my gosh, zebra!
Whoa, so many giraffes, so many zebras, and then when we finally saw the elephants, it's just to see things with your own eyes and so close.
Grandmother and my mother always collected elephants, so we have a few elephants in the house, and that's my mother's favorite animal, so I wanted to be sure to get some elephants.
And I got to see baby elephants, which was my main wish.
Oh my God, we got to fight. Well, I don't know if it's a fight. Oh my God.
When they knock off the tree down, it's for two reasons. To reach the leaves, but also they even debug off the tree, like feeding on the bark, looking for this cambium layer, which carries that nutrients.
I actually came for elephants, my whole life loving elephants. So coming here to be with all of those animals, and I was speechless. I just wanted to sit there and watch them and be in their presence respectfully.
I could have actually touched the elephant ear. He came right by the side.
Serengeti. Vast. It was vast.
anytime our Land Cruiser came around, animals were running away. But when we went around the lions, they just sat there. And they were like, you mean nothing to me. And that even fascinated me because I said, wow, the lion is not afraid of anything.
Every little animal we saw, big or small, was exciting.
Most of the species that are available here are, Thompson gazelle, and also this is actually a perfect habitat for cheetah.
It was so much better than I imagined. And one of the things that startled me is watching them hang out together.
They're not in a zoo. They're in their natural habitat. And that's something that I just truly love to see.
Early in the morning, hippos are getting back in the water because they go out at night feeding. And then in the morning, they came back. At the same time, people from the village going down the river to fetch water because they believe that early in the morning water it's more clean. So it's where they came across with hippo, and hippo start killing everything.
You guys, you have a safari guide upon landing. They're gonna help me to find the animals, but there is no any safari guide that will come and help me to fly hot air balloon here. Okay? So we enjoy and relax to the maximum.
Breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. Once in a lifetime, experience. Just seeing all the wildlife from up high like that. It's beautiful.
Just really feeling blessed that I was able to be here and to have this wonderful experience of the safari.
But the exciting part was, of course, we pull up to what looks like a big rock, and we're kind of in our Jeep going, there's a rock, whatever. And then the rock stood up, and it was the rhino when we grabbed, and the whole Jeep went,
It was my first time seeing a rhino. Not only seeing the rhino, but the hyena walking up on the rhino. I was like, what is this hyena doing? Was it trying to commit suicide? But even the rhino just didn't even care the hyena was sitting there. It was like, you want to try something? I got something for you.
Did you go to the wildlife school too?
Thank you very much, Ngorongoro Conservation Area, for allowing us to be here, and also their time to give us a little tour. Johnson, yes, he's a rhino coordinator for this area, and we also have Mapena, he's a ranger here, and then they are the one that's gonna brief us about what's going on with the rhino project, as well as some challenges that's going on, and also some good stuff that's going on in this area.
I was really touched by the dedication of the rangers. It must be hard that they don't see their family as much, but they're really committed to the work of making sure that those rhinos multiplying.
They're very dedicated to their work. I've met rhinos on different occasions. I actually touched one time at another conservation center. So to see one out there in the middle of Ngorongoro was very different. I hadn't seen that before.
I was blown away by the fact that there's only 50-some rhinos that are still, black rhinos, that are still in existence.
To see these people so committed, that really was moving, sleeping out there, being out there, risking their lives for the rhinos. And not just the rhinos, because they're there watching all the animals, because we know that there's a relationship among all life. And that's what they look at. They care deeply about the rhino, and they know it's not only about the rhino. So just being in that space of the Garden of Eden, just feeling God's presence there, yeah, so beautiful.
I loved all of the aspects of safari, the wonder of meeting, witnessing the animals and all that. But my heart broke open. My favorite part was seeing the children.
Today is a very wonderful day to Tanzania, Arusha, Ngorongoro, and Erlen. To know why we shall join up with our reporters. Be with me to the end.
To see the children standing out there waiting for us, the number of children, the dedication of the staff.
Their welcoming to us was so heartfelt. I mean, just immediately presenting us with artwork that they had done.
As a teacher, that's a lot of time they put in, a lot. Like, I'm still blown away that they get the results they get with so little.
The songs, the love, looking at us, greeting us, dancing, and giving us that beautiful picture they made with a beautiful greeting on there from God. Like mine was something like how God is always here. It was so beautiful in their flag, and greeting us with that, each one, and then giving the beautiful pot that they made.
See the kids and see all the great things that is being done there, because it's one thing just to give and never see the actual place, but to be there and actually interact with the people was pretty powerful. And actually now, after being here, I have a better understanding of kind of the relationship between Adumu Safaris and Adumu Impact, and can really help, hopefully be like a proponent and ambassador moving forward of supporting both entities through the work that they're doing.
If I could take all the children in my heart with me, that would be all I need from this. I wouldn't need any souvenirs,
Even the kids, I work in a low-income area and they don't have a lot, but compared to what they have, the kids here have even less, and yet there's so much love and happiness and success, and give off all that love and happiness. And
Zanzibar was an entirely different experience. That was, exploring the social setting.
I did imagine Zanzibar as being a busy, busy place. So getting here, seeing it, walking the streets, it was a little more busier than I had imagined in my head.
Yeah, I was struck by the more Middle Eastern feel to it, and the narrow little roads out like an alley, and people selling, and motorcycles, and it was busy, busy, busy.
One of the main things you'd encounter when seeing an Arabic house would be a door like this. And these doors are very famous in Zanzibar, known as Zanzibar doors, typically of two types, Indian and Arabic. Arabic doors like this with a square on top, and Indian doors with a semicircle on top. But all the carvings on the door are not carved by machine, they're hand carved. It takes approximately 2.5 to 3 months to carve a single door, and after carving, waiting an average of 200 kilograms for a single door like this. But before, a door used to be like a social statement. The bigger the door, the wealthier you are, and also the first part to be erected before the house. So first you make a door, and later build a house. In which today is the other way around. Because before, a door was an expensive part to build. So people did not want to have a house, and later cannot afford to have a door. So they secured a door first, and later build a house.
I find it very romantic to be here.
Three main things made Stone Town a World Heritage Site. The first thing is the manifestation of cultural fusion, interaction and interchange that can still be seen in the cultural tradition and civilization of the people. That people from different parts of the world were able to come together, live in a single community, not only that, but in peace and harmony. So over 90% of the entire population here is Muslims, and the rest is mixed, Christians and Hindus. But no problem also between the different groups of people. Coming of all these people has led to what the culture is all about. So everything you would hear, see, or want to think about Zanzibar in any of the aspects, all these things are not originally from here. From the culture, the music, the food, the language, even us, the people, we're also not from here.
Interesting. The culture, the flavors, everything. It's the smells. It's vibrant and it's going and it's you know, always something happening, always noises, whether it's, you know, call to prayer or the Christian church bells going off or kids, you know, partying in the street, whatever. Very interesting place and very interesting kind of multiracial, multicolored palette of humanity on this island as well.
The architect in the areas, seeing the doors, where the way that they keep away the elephants from ramming the doors was very unique.
This is the gardens, I am the secret. We do this kaftan show for exclusive group, not for anyone. So you're quite fortunate.
Unexpected secret garden where you could have a fabulous meal, hear music, see a fashion show, the first all-female band, instruments, dancing, and the singing was outstanding. So Zanzibar has been a very, very good experience. One where my fashion is from and that I really enjoyed. And meeting the designer was a treat, and his son.
Welcome to the spice plantation. In here, I am going to show you different spices that we grow. Cinnamon, cardamom, cloves. This is our major export, our major spice. So then I will show you.
That vine, those vines look bare. Will they produce any more?
No. From the cinnamon, we use almost everything. From the roots, the buds, and the leaves.
I kept telling people back home I'm going to Zanzibar and I can't wait to get to the spice farm.
This is a cloves. Now we have two major export spices, which is cloves, but also we have a seaweed.
So learning and smelling the spices right from the earth, that was great. And a lot of times, even if in America, when we go to the market to buy fresh spices, it's already been taken apart, torn apart. Stuff you use here to maybe as a tea, we don't even have in America because the stems have already been broken off. Something has already been, it's already been changed once it gets to the market. It doesn't taste as fresh. So getting the spices, being able to smell them right there, I loved it.
That was very interesting to see. What does the cinnamon tree look like? What does the Robusta coffee berries look like? Cardamom. I'd had cardamom before, but I hadn't seen it.
You see spices, you hear about spices, but to actually have the opportunity to see how the food that was prepared, to understand how the spices are used, because the food was so flavorful.
I love the Spice Farm.
Let's just say benefits that you get from the turmeric, the lemongrass, the cinnamon, the ginger, that I've got to have more ginger tea when I go back, because that means that I get the weight loss that I need.
Welcome to Mungoni, and my food is Khairat. So you'll be free to our school, or everything just like, just welcome.
The second room special for biology. This room special for explaining physics and chemistry.
This is about what I imagined, just this incredibly beautiful Indian Ocean. It's serene here, it's peaceful. It feels nurturing, like it's reviving me. So absolutely love that.
I'm fascinated by the coral all throughout Zanzibar. The fact that this place was once underwater and most of the buildings are coral, and then to be able to go underwater and see how much coral is on the floor of the Indian Ocean. That was spectacular.
I've never swum in a place like that, and I've swum in a good amount of interesting places. But that was very unique.
It's just absolutely gorgeous here.
It was magical and exceeded all of my expectations.
I think it was like perfect ending our vacation.
17 days with a Dumu on safari has been wonderful. We have seen so many things that you don't normally see in one trip.
In my experience here in Tanzania, I've been extremely pleased and definitely would like to come back to Tanzania at some point in the future. So this trip has been very impactful in my life.
We experienced hospitality, but this was a little bit more. And it crossed the professional line because love was present.
Adumu is the place, the company that I would go with, because it's just the best. They care about people, they care about nature, they care about animals and giving back. All of this not only changes me, but is transforming my life. And transformation's bigger than change. Change is a step. And then opening up that awareness to move beyond simply the change, but to say, how can I transform my life so that I'm not the same, that I'm deeper and more loving and more grateful and more respectful and reverent. Thank you.
let's give thanks for everybody's input for this fantastic documentary. Was that amazing? Yeah. Did you get a taste? All right. Any favorite parts? Just shout them out. Just shout them out. The children, Zanzibar? Anybody else? Huh? The animals? Favorite animal? The lions? The giraffe? Yeah? Rhino. That was cool. Huh? Deanna. You mean favorite traveler, Deanna? Deanna, did you call that out first? I'm just messing with you. Well, did you catch the spirit of festivity and just throughout? It's so contagious and so wonderful, and we wanted for this time to at least give you that spirit. So what we're doing today now is going to invite some of the travelers who are present here with Dr. Danielle, and we want to reflect on some of the lessons that they learned while being on this trip, and as a way of sermonizing through our lived experience. How about that? So Dr. Danielle Hurd Molell, will you come forward? And all of our travelers, will you come up? Join us upstage, please. Come on, let's give them some love and appreciation. Yeah. And then you can facilitate the Q&A.
David's going to help facilitate.
And Dr. David is going to help as well. Come on, David.
Thanks.
All right. And just come up and take a seat. You won't be required to sing, but we can't guarantee dancing won't be involved. Please take some up here so that we fill in. Okay, great. We got more?
Is there another mic that David can use?
Yes. Can we get a couple more mics? We'll need like 2. Is this one live here? Okay. And then we'll pass the mic as you all respond. David, there you go.
As everyone's getting settled up here, I just wanted to bring your attention to the fact that we actually ended the credits a little early, but many of you might have recognized your names in the credits, and there was just so many people who have given. Many of you are here today to help make the service aspect of the trip possible. So thank you so much. I'd love to give you all a round of applause. Yeah, your generosity is what makes this possible, and us coming together as a village helps to make the world smaller. So thank you so much for that. And I also, at the end of the credits, I just want, we had put a dedication of this film to the memory of Reverend Charles Terrell Cooper. So, yeah. The film and the trip is really dedicated to his memory, so I wanted to make sure that we all were aware of that. So thank you so much. I'm truly honored to be up here. I am full of everything wonderful right now after watching that film and after being pumped up earlier by the music and the singing of our group. And I don't want to talk too long because I want to hear the voices of our famous travelers. Everyone's famous now after being on the big screen. So David and I have a few questions to maybe keep the conversation going today. And, you know, we want to hear from you a little bit more. I'll start. I have a question for some of the teachers on the panel because we have a few teachers and we were able to visit, or I say we, you know, because in spirit I was there the whole time. We were able to visit, was it four schools, 4 children's centers. And I would just love, I mean, we got to see a little bit in the film about those visits, but I would love to hear from the teachers about what it was like for you as teachers to spend time in those schools. I imagine it's quite interesting.
Well, my name's Doris Hansen. Is this on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My name is Doris Hansen, and I'm going to start my 37th year of teaching. And last year was the hardest year of teaching that I experienced in 37 years. And for me, the joy, I'm going to get a chill here, the joy of just being with the children and seeing the love and it's hard to describe, like Rev Kev did a really good job, but
they live in the moment there, and I want Xavier to say some of the experience, like to remember that while we're here, that they live in the moment. They are joyful and beautiful, and we felt that like the whole time. And the kids, like the minute you give them any opening for a hug, you get bombarded. And the teachers, like we made a lot of connections with teachers because we want to do our fundraising. Well, this year I've got like 10 schools lined up, hopefully $1,000 per school. So I have a $10,000 goal for the water. So that was our impact, that we can make a difference, and it will be a huge difference.
I was, when we went to the Ebenezer School, I don't know if everyone knows, that school was created for orphan children. That was just kind of awe-inspiring when you pull up. And then we went into the buildings, which are so simplistic and not very much on the inside walls. And when I was teaching, the walls were covered with exciting things and color. And yet, they had really, correct me if I'm wrong, high test scores.
Oh, yes.
Very high test scores, because those teachers were determined to turn these children out as they grow up to be able to take care of themselves and to succeed, and that was really inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Tracy, and I'm a first grade teacher, and what Deanna and Dora said is the two things I was going to mention is just the joy that they have, that all the kids and the teachers, joyful, enthusiastic. And then in the classrooms, here we have so much in our classrooms, so much that doesn't get utilized. And there, it's bare walls, 1 or 2 desks, dirt floors, and those kids are learning 2 or 3 languages. They're learning their math. They know their history, all about the history of Tanzania, and it just was amazing what they're doing with very little.
I'm not a teacher, but I just wanted to add my feelings about the situation at Ebenezer, and their greeting went on, and it was so well produced, and the children taught us about AIDS and how you get it, what the symptoms are, how you can prevent it, what you can do in the future in beautiful English. And as someone said, that would be their 3rd language, and the fact that they know English, which is the business, the lingua franca of Tanzania, will give them such an amazing opportunity. So it was just, it was so moving, and you get to see what just some effort can produce without a lot of material. It was just very, very moving that way.
I'm not sure I have much to add. I will say when we first showed up there, I had the sense that we were being honored, and that seemed in some ways all wrong, that we should be honoring them. And I think we felt that these children were committing so much effort in their lives to just to survive a very hard existence, and to do it with such grace and love and affection for each other. It just, I think, really touched all of our hearts. And
We actually, if anybody has thoughts, I don't want to interrupt that. So if I shine, I was going to say we have a few other questions we want to ask, and I'm sure similar sentiments will come
Where's your
up.
mic?
Thank you. Actually, David has the next question, I believe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that they can hear.
Yeah, thanks everybody for being here, and then also thanks you guys. Has been we're one unity community up there in Tanzania. It's good to see your face here. My question was to either Jonathan and also Xavier about the whole Rhino project up there and how they're doing their work and the challenging. And I don't know if there's easy fix, but I just want to hear some of your thought about that Rhino project. Rhino project.
The Rhino project. Wow. Looking at the world these days that we inhabit. Looking at the world that we inhabit today, we see how fragile it is and what a responsibility is left to those of us who actually can engage and work with the people of Tanzania. These countries desperately need our help, and at the same time, we have so much to learn from them. I'm really not quite sure where to go with the thought. Thinking about the Rhino project, you can consider what goes into that. You have people sleeping in these little sort of cottages, I guess they're monkey-proof because there's lots of animals moving in and out of the area, but you have these rangers who are dedicating their lives to protecting a resource which is unique on planet Earth. It's really incredible that these men contribute this. They sacrifice for their families, they sacrifice for their villages and their people.
I agree. For me as well. The Rhino Project was an amazing look into the depth of the crater. I had been in Ngorongoro before, but this was a really special insight because we got to go to some places that you don't usually see because we're driving around with the head ranger. And you could feel the dedication and the heart that they have for the rhinos and for the entire ecosystem and how they're working tirelessly to maintain a balance in this wonderful place that is just such an incredible cauldron of energy. You know, I mean, the animals and the incredible trees, all of the different species of flora that you see in there. It's amazing, and I think he said they have one vehicle that they use in the entire crater, and they're going around trying to preserve and conserve and protect against poachers. And so they need some resources. They need a lot of help. But you could just feel how dedicated, and for these rangers to go in and be away from their families for a month at a time, I think it was, sleeping in those little units, those little trailer units that you saw, it's an incredible commitment, and so it feels good to be able to support them in that work, and I hope you'll join us in doing that.
This is our planet's heritage that they're protecting, so we owe them a deep debt of gratitude.
That's really well put. Our planet's heritage. I love that. Yes. Thank you for those sentiments. And just to repeat that phrase, our planet's heritage that they're protecting, and we owe them a great deal of gratitude. That is really well put. I love that. So we have just a couple more questions for the panel. David, do you want to ask, I think, Cheyenne and Yvette, and then I'll ask the final question.
Oh yeah, I was about to forget Cheyenne and Yvette here, but hey, so we're just curious about how is that feel like for you guys to travel 3 generations? You're there with your mom and then your daughter. Can you just tell us, the whole experience with that? Thanks.
Yeah, it was definitely special traveling with 3 generations, myself, my mom, and then my mom's mom, maternal grandmother. And it was funny because my mom and I were super excited and had joined this trip in 2020 when we got the initial announcement. So we were on board from the jump. And my grandmother actually was not planning on going, but I felt that she would really enjoy it and she could definitely handle it. So did a little bit of convincing to get her to jump on the trip, and she decided to join with us. So I think it was really special getting to travel with the group, but it was particularly special getting to travel as a family. And I felt like we kind of did a mini debrief of each day as we were going along because we saw so much and experienced so much. So for me, it was particularly special getting to travel with my mom and grandmother, who have been definitely the two most influential visuals in my life. So really appreciate it and extremely thankful for that.
Traveling with my mom and my daughter, yes, it was pleasant, but there were moments. But no, seriously, it was a trip I am so grateful for, and I will never forget. And it did make it more special having these memories with my mom and my daughter. And my mom kept saying, "Can I come home earlier?" She kept saying the 17, 18 days was too long. She said, "Maybe I'll just go for 7 days." And I thought, if you're traveling that far, you might as well just stay. So we did have to convince her to come on this trip, and she's grateful that she went. But yes, traveling with your family is wonderful and a little tough at times, but so worth it. So worth it.
That is great. And yeah, we loved you on the documentary, Vet.
Hilarious.
It was getting us to laugh, yeah. Thank you so much for those reflections. We have a final question for the panel, and this applies to absolutely everybody. I invite you all to reply if you'd like. So the documentary ended with Rev Mary Lakaye, who's at Unity of Roseville. We love her so much, and she's not here today because she's leading her service over at Unity of Roseville.
Let's give Reverend Mary some love.
I'm sure she'll be watching this later, so we love you, Rev Mary, and we understand exactly why you can't be here, but she's here very much in spirit right now. And I was really touched by the sentiment that she ended the whole documentary on, or that our lovely filmmaker, Abby, who might be watching as well, hello out there, out in Tanzania, he chose that sentiment to end the film on, which we appreciate. And she said that the 17-day trip didn't just change her, but transformed her, and discussed the difference between having a temporary or a discrete change and being transformed mind, body, and spirit. I'm paraphrasing her words. So that really touched me, that moved me, and it made me so happy to know that we can contribute to that for people in different ways. But we would love to hear if anybody felt transformed. First of all, raise your hand. You don't, and it's no pressure, but raise your hand if you felt that you were transformed by this experience. That's everybody. Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. So would anybody like to speak on that maybe what happened? Yeah, thank you.
Certainly. A few things. Okay, so you saw the wonderful kids. We got there and they presented us with drawings and flags. Tanzanian flag that one child presented us with adorns my drum now. Every time I see this, every time I pick up my drum, I think of them, I feel their spirit. Every time I go to Africa, I've been several times, but every time I am changed at a deep level, I am transformed, I am different. It's like when I go, I'm retrieving a piece of my soul. This time, the interaction with the kids was a deep part of that I hadn't experienced at that level before. The animals and nature, the huge dynamism and the elements, the animism, you can literally feel spirit in everything. You have to work hard not to be transformed in Africa. My wife tells me I haven't fully come back yet. That's because I'm still integrating a bigger piece of my soul into my being right now. And I want to get back there before the end of the year.
We'll help with that.
I would like to say it really made me appreciate
my home. I'm so thankful for all the experiences we had over there, but seeing what we have here makes me appreciate it more. I mean, we traveled on so many roads that they were not paved. There were no street signs. The facilities we sometimes had to use weren't quite up to par. And it just really made me appreciate what I have. And I'm so thankful for how kind everyone was over there. And like I said, they weren't treating us that way because we were there at that moment. I truly feel they're that way all the time. I'm going to work on being kinder. That's something I have to work on. And I'm going to work on not reacting so fast when maybe I have a disagreement with someone. I'm going to listen and appreciate what they're saying. And that's how I was transformed.
Wow, that's
and
powerful.
thank you. Thank you.
I was transformed just in appreciation to what I have also. Just materialistically, what I have, my home, my job, my family, but also like really thinking about, when you're stressed and pressure's on and things are happening, just put things in perspective and what is really important in your life, and don't sweat the small stuff, don't sweat the big stuff, just put things in perspective and just be filled with happiness and joy and appreciate what you do have, because everybody here has so much, and I really think we don't appreciate everything we have materialistically, like I said, and just with love that we do have and the joy that we can have.
I just want to piggyback because I'm a reactionary person, and I had amazing conversations with Xavier, especially, and I had a particularly rough time at one point. And Tracy is one of my sister friends, my lifelong friends. We've been teaching together for all these years, and we had some really hard conversations for us because we were like trying to get to the bottom of stuff. And I think that happened because you want, that's where we're supposed to be living, in the moment. And I wish I have it written in a book, because Xavier and I had a really good talk about the timelessness, because I don't remember things as well as he does, but like being deeply in the moment as opposed to worrying about what's happening tomorrow or even in an hour, like really appreciating the people who are in front of you, really appreciating the weather, and even if it's not a great day, what's great about the day, and being able to get along with people even if we don't agree, like Yvette said. And I have been meditating every morning because that it's made a difference. When school starts, we'll see. Starts next week. But my dream is that I will give myself that moment and remember our trip and be grateful for what we do have in this country and with each other.
Transformation. That's such a gigantic word. One thing I learned when I was traveling was the importance of your tribe. And so we were our tribe. And the importance of connecting with people and depending on each other, because we often really needed each other to do things like, even stand up or get into the Jeep or things of that sort. But I do have to tell you just a quick little story. So we were on the Jeep, and Doris, said, oh, look, there's a baboon over there by the bush. And as you notice, the Jeeps had the pop-up
roof. And so we hadn't really seen a baboon that close. And I said, wow, really? But by the time I saw him, I couldn't see him because he was kind of going around the back. And I thought, oh, I missed him. And then he jumped in to the Jeep. And
Right here.
Doris and I and Xavier were right in the back seat, and we were looking at him like I'm looking at Rev Kev right here. Now, Rev Kev was in the front, and he was off looking at a bird or something. And he and a couple other people, yes, Tracy, they didn't see what we were seeing. And Xavier is like trying to say things to him, and then he grabs his backpack, and the baboon is like looking at us, and I just kind of turn away and pretend I didn't see him. And he jumps in, and then he has to grab something to tell everybody that he was there. So he grabs our package of napkins.
He jumped,
That's
but
right.
he jumped on Mary's back.
He grabs the napkins, then he lays a big, huge poop and jumps out the window. And that all happened in like what? Like 2 minutes or something. It was all super big.
30 seconds.
And while that's a funny story, and I had to share it so you could enjoy that, but what was told to us by, maybe it was our driver, I think, was that he had been a naughty baboon. And he had probably been kicked out of his group because he was not getting along. And when you're not getting along, you're kicked out. And then what are you when you can't belong with people, you don't have your group? You're angry and you're mad and you're going to take it out on anything. And so I was thinking about, so many times we, kind of feel like we don't have a tribe, or we don't belong, or we don't know where our people are, or we're feeling a little lonely. And it was just so evident in looking at that poor guy who, he was upset. He probably might not make it back in to the group. I don't know what he had to do to get back in, but the importance of that.
That was great. That was great. I just want to make one comment on that. Well, I was going to make it on the baboon story, but he was like right there, and I just thought, well, this is how it's going to end, God. It was that moment, like, okay. And just continuing that story, the other part of it was that our Jeremiah, our guide, jumps out of the car, the vehicle, and goes into the bush and retrieves the napkin from the baboon and comes back into our vehicle. And, in the bush could have been anything, okay?
Yeah.
But what we witness, and this is one of the things that's transforming, continues to transform me, is being open to the indigenous wisdom that other cultures bring and what they know intuitively and just through their lived experience. And so there was so much that we were just gleaning from our brothers and our guides and sisters there who were so in tune with, he knew that this is what he had to do, first of all, because of the conservation area that we were in. So getting those napkins out, leaving them there would have been harmful to the area where, just knowing all of that and being able to move and handle that quickly and get back alive and all of that, but something that is transforming me about culture and certainly African culture is being open to the indigenous wisdom and abandoning my notions of how it has to be because of my worldview, but what their worldview and experience and wisdom can bring to not only their world, but ours. And one of the things that was very clear is there is no waste. absolute efficiency. Everything is used, and to just sound cliche, the circle of life is respected down to the animal waste. It is processed and used, and in one case was preserved as methane, turned into methane in order to heat a stove. And in another case, used as fire kindling, and so forth. But also to let us know what animals might be near that might want to snack upon us. And so, but
on that, I have a gift for everybody. Oh. And then I want to hear my exhibit. I'm going to show David first.
all right, use a microphone so we can hear. Hold on a minute. Hold on.
He got the baboon. After we recovered, I took a picture of him in the tree behind us, and so I just made a copy for everybody because it was such a wonderful memory for us.
Is this the baboon?
Yes, yes.
Our baboon. Oh, that's great. Oh, thank you,
much.
Doris.
Since you told the baboon story, I was going to wait to the end, but
Thank you. Look at that little rascal.
Thank you. Is this on? Yes, it's on. Right.
He let us live. Thank you. Thank you, Doris.
anyway, it was a really profound moment in our church.
Thank you, Doris.
We got to wrap.
Okay, so I appreciate the panel so much. Before we kind of wrap this up, I wanted to give two special thanks. There's so many people to thank, but well, actually, there's many people to thank. First, I don't think she's here, and this is why I need to thank her, is my mom, who's I want to thank my mother because
there she is.
David and I would never be able to do any of this if she wasn't juggling all of our kids all the time. So thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. And also I want to thank David, David, for coming through with such a beautiful trip. You know, thank you for leading the trip, and for being, for being open and available to everybody in your homeland, and being one of those, holders of indigenous knowledge to give. So I think it's a really precious thing that you were able to do for this group. So thank you so much. And of course, gosh, thanks everybody. Thanks to Rev Kev. This trip wouldn't have happened if Rev Kev didn't, well, so many things. But really see the promise and see and connect with the mission and vision of Adumu Safaris and Adumu Impact, and to even create the context of this beautiful place, our spiritual home of unity of Sacramento, where the seed of this idea was first planted, as he discussed at the beginning of the video. And I mean, I have so much to say on that. It's going to have to be another day. That's going to have to be another day. But I am just so internally grateful. And you have all witnessed, the planting of the seed and it growing and blooming. And we have so much more yet to come. So on that note, I actually hope that you will consider joining us on the next leg of our journey, which is going to be a multifaceted journey. And we're going to have more to say about that. But I hope that you'll consider sticking with us because it's not over yet.
That's right.
So thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Come on, let's give our travelers and Dr. Danielle, David Molell. Awesome. We're going to return to our seats, and we're going to shift the stage a little bit for the choir to come up and sing a song, and then we'll share more about some of the causes, and then we're going to have some Tanzanian food. Who wants some Woo! Okay. Okay. Thank you. Revi, we'll take the chairs.
Cheers. God's children, created with divine love. The breath of the Holy Spirit abides in all of us, and together we are invincible. Together we'll conquer all. Take my hand and I'll stand by you. Come whatever, I'll see you through. We will live in harmony when we stand in unity. We are all God's children, created with divine love. The breath of the Holy Spirit abides in all of us, and together we are invincible. Together we'll conquer all. Take my hand and I'll stand by you. Come whatever, I'll see you through. And we will live in harmony when we stand in unity. Take my hand, I'll stand by you. Come whatever, I'll see you through. We will live in harmony when we stand in unity. So come on and stand with me. Yeah, all of my brothers, stand. Want you to stand. Stand with me. Why don't you stand? Stand with me. And together we are invincible. Together we'll conquer all. And together we are invincible, yeah. Together we'll conquer all. And together we are invincible. Together we'll conquer all. We are all God's children, created with divine love.
giving thanks for our Expressions of Unity choir today. Thank you so much. Redalia Kilson conducting. We're giving thanks for Chakra today. We continue to hold the high watch for Chet as he continues to overcome COVID-19 in his body temple. Just see him well, perfect, and whole. Have you enjoyed yourselves with us today? Come on, give thanks. I want you to know that the sermon has already been given, so I'm not about to stand up here and give you a sermon, so you can be relieved. But I'll give some final notes, and then we will receive our blessing of our tithes and love offerings and invite you to be a part of a wonderful experience that we think you're going to enjoy, a taste, a literal taste of Tanzania. Some takeaways. Live in the moment. Everybody say it? Live in the moment. Trust that what you have is enough. Come on, say, I am enough. What I have is enough. And then finally, accept that you make a difference. Say, I make a difference. Those are the three things that we can walk away from here with. That indeed, the moment we're in right now is gifting us with more than we can ask for if we can be attentive to it. Trust that you're enough. Only need a heart full of love and a soul generated by grace. Whose heart was touched this morning? Who felt it? Who felt it? Imagine if you were there. And what I want to say to you about leaving your legacy and making your impact, it's later than you think it is. Did you hear what I said? What did I say? Sometimes we are getting ready to get ready. Getting ready. When I get perfect, then I'll make my difference and I'll make my mark. It's later than you think it is. Live in the moment, move with that impulse of spirit, and trust that what you have been given is sufficient. You can make a difference. We witnessed that so simply. And all of you who participated in the drive and helped us we had bags and bags and bags filled with gifts to give. And let me tell you, the appreciation, enormous. In fact, some of our beloveds from Tanzania are watching right now. We give them some gratitude. We love you. Ashe Naleng. And I want you to know that your Unity of Sacramento Board of Trustees has voted to ensure that a portion of the resources that you entrust this ministry with will be given on a monthly basis to Adumu Impact so that we can continue the work of Unity of Sacramento touching lives in Tanzania. On your tables, we want you to take advantage of this handout and really see what Adumu Impact is all about. This is a homegrown vision for the world. And they are our beloveds, and that we get to stand alongside them and achieve their dream is huge because it is allowing us to really and truly be a force for good in the world. Love and appreciation to you again, Dr. Danielle, David. The causes that we lifted up today are listed on a little card here. As it was mentioned, if you are interested in being a part of our ongoing efforts, I want you to complete this card and just check what speaks to you so that when we are calling our group together over the next several years, but There are more trips coming. We're going back. We want you to indicate that you're interested in participating in any of those causes or all of them. And we will call a gathering together as we did with this group to inform you about our plans for continuing our work there. Tell somebody it's not over yet. Tell them it's not over yet. We've only just begun. I just want you to know personally, it is my vision that we complete that water project. That water project will bring so many people out of poverty directly into an outstanding educational system that is already there. They won't have to spend their days fetching water. They can be in class learning and transforming their nation. We can help them do that, can't we? And I don't think it's got to take forever. What they need to do, what they need to do this with, somebody could make it happen today. We could make it happen today and get that going. And then on our next trip over there, we're helping to support maybe with some of the build out of it. But by the time I graduate Harvard, my declaration is I'm coming to celebrate with them as they are having water into all of those villages that we have a chance to meet with and be served by. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Come on, guys, we can do that. Point to yourself and say, I can make a difference. I want you to know that in a huge way. So let's take a moment now to just bless the gifts that we have prepared for our community here on this campus. And I'm asking everybody to give something today, understanding what you're doing is you're setting a powerful law in motion for yourselves. And you're truly not sitting here taking just to take, but you're giving. You're participating in the way that you're capable of, and you're not just giving to unity, you're giving through unity. Say, I'm giving through unity. So for those of you on our online, watching through our live stream, let's give our live stream some love real quick. We're going to play a quick video. Do we have that video for them? And as we prepare our gifts in the sanctuary, we're asking those online to watch this video, even in the house, to know how to give. And then our ushers will come and we'll bless and receive our gifts. Are we ready with that? Giving? Let's
website at www.unityofsacramento.com. Right there at the top of the front page, you will see a donation button. Click there to visit our safe and secure push pay portal. Another easy way to give is through our Unity of Sacramento app. Download the app on your smartphone or tablet, and on the front page, look toward the bottom of the page for your giving heart, which will also take you to our push pay portal. You can also write us. Send your letters to Unity of Sacramento, 9249 Folsom Boulevard, Sacramento, California, 95826. So many people are shopping online, and if that's what you like to do, then support us through Amazon Smile. Visit smile.amazon.com and designate Unity of Sacramento as your charity of choice. You will automatically be making a contribution to our beloved community. And of course, you can always make your donation by using Venmo or Cash App, as seen on your screen.
All right, let's take a moment now to bless our gifts, tithes, or love offerings. Some of us will be using the app. Some of you on your tables, there's an envelope there in the little caddy there, if you would. All right, you see them? And let's just say it with me. Just say it with me. Just try it out. It is a joy to give. Come on. It is a joy to give. It is a joy to have something to give. Come on. It is a joy to have something to give. It is a joy to be a beneficial presence on the planet. It is a joy. We joyously give. We joyously give. We joyously give. We joyously receive. And so it is. Amen and amen. Ushers, if you'd come forward and receive the offerings. We're so grateful for your giving. Stay joyful in your giving. Yeah, that sounds good. Come on up, Xavier. They're cranking that back up a little bit. If you've given, just clap with us a little bit. Okay. Now, has everybody who wanted to give given? Yes? All right. Would you like to have a little fun? So while I was standing here, how many of you saw Reverend Mary LeCaillier say she's giving $1,000 to the Water Project? All right. Give Reverend Mary some love and appreciation. And so I can't let her give $1,000 to the Water Project and the Ross family not give $1,000 to the Water Project. So I'm giving $1,000 to the, we're giving $1,000 to the Water Project. And then Rev E ran up with his check for $1,000 to the Water Project. Woo, woo. Who else wants to give $1,000 a pledge? Katie, you gonna give $1,000? Anybody else want to give $1,000 to the Water Project? Or better, we got another $1,000 to the Water Project. Can we get another $1,000? Anybody else? If you raise your hand, I'm gonna collect your 1,000. All right, hold on. All right, so what did we just raise? We just raised in just a couple minutes, what is that? $4,000 pledged to the Water Project. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can we leave here having given them their first start? 10,000. Can we leave here having raised 10,000 for the Water Project? 10,000. If someone, whatever level you want to give at, I want to get this started, and I want you to see the miracle. Do you know what it will take to bring hundreds of young people out of hours and hours a day going to get water and have them in the classroom? The Water Project is only $60,000, and thousands of people will be impacted. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Say, I see it. Come on, say, I see it. Say, I see it. All right, so we're now down to what? It's not 60 anymore, it's 50. Somebody's doing the math, huh? It's 55,000. It's not even 60 anymore. It's 55,000. Who wants to bring it down further? Did I see your hand? Is that 1,000? Hey, we got another 1,000. All right. So now we're at 50. How much is it? Somebody's got to do the counting now. 54. All right. That's what we need now. 50. Are you keeping a real count? 55. Okay. So we're now at 55. If we can make it 50,000, be done with it, bring it to 50,000, that would be amazing at whatever level. And that's going to be in the name of Unity of Sacramento. And by the way, we are already committed to the various schools. We're not done with those schools yet. So we're already, members of our group have made commitments on behalf. Anybody else? Anybody else? Who wants to bring it down? Maybe you bring it down by 500 less. Or, $500. Look at God. Woo, 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 woo. Thank you. Come on, say it with me. It's a joy to give. Come on, say it's a joy to give. One more time. It's a joy to give. You know why I'm doing this? You know why I'm doing this? Because I know some of us will leave here with a good feeling and come back and see what we did. But we're a part of the we. Do you get that? Tell somebody nearby, you're the ones we've been looking for. You're the ones we've been looking for. Yeah? And if we're going to change it, we'll do it together. Now, if you raise your hand, I'm thinking you're giving 500 or 1,000. Was that, Carla, was that a 500? 500? Look at God. Woo! Hey, 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 hey. Just like that. All right, so where does our count now? Who's doing the math? I've got to let the people eat, y'all. Huh? We're at 54? All right. Are we bringing it down to 50? So who says, Rev Kev, I'll do 100. I can pledge $100 toward the water project, bringing water to Tanzania. Anyone? I see $100. Give thanks. Woo! I see another 100. I see another 100 there. Woo! Who's counting? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Woo! I see another 100. There's 100. Hey, 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 hey. Hey. Now, I think that was at least 10 of you? Was that another 100? I'll give that. Come on, there's another 100. Woo, woo, woo. All right, all right. Come on, say it's a joy to give. You know, it's Rev Kev, now listen, man, listen. You know, I didn't come here for this. Well, that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you help the world. Yes? I know you didn't come here for this. You didn't know that. You didn't know that you were about to be a part of a phenomenal legacy that was established right here on this campus because we felt like doing something extraordinary. You didn't know that, but guess what? Now you know. Tell somebody, now you know. All right, someone who says, I can give $50 or anything in that, just raise your hands to support the water project. Anybody else who wants to give in this vibration of generosity? We want to bless Adumu Impact. Anybody else? Oh, I have to hold up this $1,000 check. All right, let's rise up, everybody, as we prepare to leave. Give yourself some love and appreciation. I can hear them all the way from Tanzania celebrating right now. Hey, 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 hey. Dr. Danielle and family, will you come up here as we close our service? Anita Ross, come on up. Annette, come on up. Let's close our service. Oh, you're ready to serve. Hey. Oh, gosh. All right. Just stay up here. Okay, as we prepare to leave, just one announcement. At 6 o'clock on Tuesday, we will have our Celebration of Life service commemorating the life of our beloved Carol Williams. 6 o'clock p.m. this Tuesday, Celebration of Life for our beloved Carol Williams right here in the sanctuary. Please be here. We're going to have some good food in just a minute. And then next Sunday, we are going to be having our Bon Voyage service. This is a prayer service that will help send me to Harvard. So we're going to just, that's the Sunday before I go to school, and I need all the prayer I can get. While I'm standing here, where's Dr. Danielle and David? We have a little gift that we want to give you. Come on over. This is a customized cutting board with the name Unity of Sacramento branded in it. And it says, indeed, you are a force for good in the world. Thank you so much. So every time you make a meal, like you're about to do now, think of your Unity family. We love you. We love you. All right, let's sing out We All Belong. All right, you want to hold my hand? All right, yeah, Mama? We all belong. 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 We all belong to the family of God. We all belong. 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 We all belong to God's infinite love. And together we'll walk hand in hand, side by side. We will take a stand. We will stand up for love all over the world. We all belong. We all belong. We all belong. We all belong. We all belong to the family of God. We belong. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And together we'll walk hand in hand, side by side. Take a stand. We will stand up for love all over the world. We all belong. We all belong. We all belong to the family of God. We belong. God bless you, everyone. Come and join us for some more taste of Tanzania right in the foyer.
Jambo,
you.